Hey guys, how are you all doing? It's a girl CC and I'm back again today with another interesting video. I trust you guys are doing great, having fun, enjoying life. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. So we have been seeing loads of videos on social media, women sharing the reasons why they do not want to have kids. Now it became a discussion. It is still a discussion, a topic, people talking about it. Like some people are against this group of women that have decided to go, child free. And then they were like, why would you say you don't want to have a child? I mean, someone gave birth to you and here you are saying you don't want a child. Now, today we are going to hear from men because there are some men out there that are saying that they don't want a child. They also want to go, to be child free, basically. Now, I have put together these videos. Let's just hear from men. What could be their reasons? Like, I am so curious. What could be their reasons? Please stay with me, guys. Let's just hear from these men. And of course, I'm going to show you some random comments. You all know how we do it here. Please check these videos out.
I want to know what your number one reason is for not having kids. You don't owe anybody an explanation. You don't.
Story time. Growing up the way I did, I grew up with a lot of trauma. And from that trauma were genetic reasons why that trauma existed. I had a very abusive mother. Her brothers were also equally abusive. In fact, they were the reasons why my mother was abusive to me. I was determined to not have any kids. And I got a vasectomy when I was 23 years old because I knew that if I had kids, that I would somehow mess them up. Fast forward a few years. I saw a mother that needed help. I saw a person that needed help. I saw some kids that needed help. And I saw some kids that needed help with their mother. Those four themes played in my life with my children that I chose to be a part of in their lives. I think of my kids often. I miss them. I miss them. I love them. And they know I do. But being a parent changed me. But at the same time, it is absolutely acceptable to not have children. Becoming a parent is a life-changing choice. And knowing that at the end of the day I did the right things is what's made me realize that I was a good parent. Not perfect. No parent ever is. But I wasn't what my mother was. Not at all. I stepped up and I did what was right. There was a time I didn't ever want to have kids. Would I change my mind? I don't know. But at the same time, I respect anybody who doesn't want to be a parent because it is the hardest job you'll ever have. And it is okay to absolutely say no to that. Thank you for listening.
Wow. His story really touched me. You see why I tell people, do not judge people. Like, respect people's opinion, respect people's decision. You could see that this man is in so much pain. Please, let's respect people's decision. You may not know their stories. These ones are bold enough to, share their stories on social media. There are some people, that are not, they don't do social media thing, but they've got their reasons. They don't want to share it. So just leave them. Just leave them.
I want to know what your number one reason is for not having kids. You don't owe anybody an explanation.
Let's say, for sake of argument, that you take care of all of these external issues like the state of the world that we're in right now, the politics, the healthcare, the education system, the war. And let's say, for sake of argument, that you manage to breed yourself a child that has none of your genetic predisposition for health issues or anything like that. They're not going to develop childhood cancer. They're not going to have your autism or your ADHD or your depression. And let's say they actually survive to their 18th birthday. Because there's so many ways that a child could die, from SIDS to measles to God knows what else. And they just try to kill themselves like 100% of the time. They just don't know any better. It still, even with all those guarantees, takes so much energy and dedication that you have to spend every waking moment of your life for the next 18, 20, 25, hell, 30 years, just making sure that your child isn't fucked up in some way. I know how my parents raised me and how my brother's raising his boys, how my sister's raising her girls, how my cousins were raised, how my friends were raised, and I just can't do it. I know all the ways that their parents fucked up, and I know that I can't keep myself on the straight and narrow 100% of the time. I know I'm going to make mistakes, and I know some of them eventually are going to be really big. I'm barely responsible enough to manage my own life, let alone that of a child. And the thing is, even then, even after you fucked your child up, or even after they got diagnosed with autism or ADHD or whatever other syndrome or disease or whatever else, they're still so deserving of love and care and affection and attention and your time. No matter what you did to your child, they deserve your every waking moment. And that's a lot of responsibility, and not a lot of parents can actually successfully do that. I know I can't. There's just no way.
I want to know what your number one reason is for not having kids.
Let's just take money out of the equation. Because kids are expensive to raise. Let's just not even think about that. The number one reason why I probably will never have kids is because I'm single. I wouldn't mind having kids. I think it would be cool to have a kid. But I'm 41, still single. I don't know if I ever do find a mate, if they want kids. If they do, cool. If not, that's fine too. Would I adopt? Yes. But I'm bringing money back in the situation. Kids are fucking expensive, dude. How do you do it?
I want to know what your number one reason is for not having kids.
I think I'd be a good dad, but a bad father. I want to do all the fun stuff, but the hard stuff, the stuff that takes work, I don't think I have the willpower in me to do that for another person. I can do it for myself and for my partner, but I don't think that I could do it for a kid, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I want to know what your number one reason is for not having kids.
Number one reason? I am a genetic mistake. You go through everything that I've been through medically over the last 4 years, and all of it has been genetically passed down to me. I should be charged with child cruelty if I brought a child into this world with these genes. That is no joke. Not including the mental health issues. That would be fucked up to try and give a kid anyway and have them inherit. But yeah, no. Physically, a mess. I would not wish this on anyone.
I want to know what your number one reason is for not having kids.
Okay, so recently I was riding up to Eden with my boss, and his wife called him. I want to start this out by saying I don't think anyone's a bad parent or any kid is bad here. His wife called him and said, hey, our son keeps on begging me to play Nintendo and he won't take no for an answer. I need you to tell him no. They put the kid on the phone and he says to his son, you can't play Nintendo. You're grounded. And maybe next time you'll think about this before you shit yourself so that you don't have to stop playing Nintendo. I don't know if you guys know this about the Switch, but it's an entirely portable console. So he could have taken it into the bathroom and pooped while he was playing this. So even though they know they need to go to the bathroom to poop, they don't. I don't know. I'm never going to have kids. And it's not just because of that. It's because women don't want to fuck me anyways.
I want to know what your number one reason is for not having kids. You don't owe anybody an explanation. You don't.
Because I do not want to do what my father did to me, which was approximately 16 years of torturing me. And so I do not want to put my trauma onto a potential child. You know, that's really it. I don't want to inadvertently harm an innocent child with my trauma, with the mental illness that I developed because of my trauma.
I want to know what your number one reason is for not having kids. You don't owe anybody an explanation.
The crying, the screaming, the shitting, the eating, and that's all just for me.
So guys, let's make this a conversation today in the comment section. Now, this topic has been going on and on and on, and we have seen videos from the women, sharing their reasons. So that's why today I decided we're going to hear from the men, basically. And you could tell that most of them talked about the trauma they had growing up, okay, which is still affecting them till today. And that is why they decided they're not going to have kids, because they don't want to traumatize their kids. They don't want, they feel like they're not going to be good fathers, so they just said, you know what? Let's just be, okay? So you see why it is good to respect people's decisions. Now, talking about the financial aspect of it, which we have talked about here, it requires a lot of resources. So please do your research very well. However, if you are a lover of child, let me just put it that way, you don't mind regardless, and you want to, it is something that you really want to do, is your dream basically to have 4, 3, 5 kids, get on with it. But just do your research very well, because a lot of things are happening these days and people are literally traumatized, okay, from the things that is happening at work, the news we're hearing. So if this is something that you want to do, you get on with it. Anyways, you guys, let me know your take in the comments, and thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, share, comment, and of course, come back for another video. I'm gonna see you all in my next one. Y'all take care. Much love. Bye.